Hello, this is my review on uh the X-Men original trilogy released by Fox Studios. X-Men. Fox X-Men. I give all three X-Men movies a 8 out of 10. Even though I like the movies, I'm giving them an 8 out of 10 because there's 8 out of 10 is, we don't give them 8 out of 10 because I like the movies, but I have so many problems with the movies. And mixed feelings about the movie. Each one. And especially the first one. Would have to be my least favorite out of the trilogy. So, why give the Fox X-Men trilogy a 8 out of 10 from the first to the third one, the all giving a final word a 8 out of 10. Now, I'm going to go all the problems I have with the entire trilogy and the things I like about the entire trilogy. At the same time, what I hated about the trilogy is the waste potential of the leader, Cyclops. And then finally doing something interesting with him and making him grow as a character in the third installment, only just to kill him off in the first opening minutes of the film. And don't even bring him back right away. Those bastards wasted a good Cyclops. And it's not like it's really sad because the guy that plays Cyclops, I think he could play a really, really good Cyclops if he was given the proper screen time. And he didn't get killed off in X-Men 3. I'm just going to say that I hate that. You wasted Cyclops, bad Fox, for shame. And I didn't like that they cast Halle Berry as Storm. For shame, for her just phoning it in. The entire trilogy. And dropping the Storm accents, the voice, once she's, like, is anyone did it bother anybody that Storm had the Storm voice in the first Fox X-Men movie and then dropped it in the middle of the story was unfolding of the first Fox movie? Am I the one that thought that was weird and kind of took away the illusion that Storm without the Storm voice? Come on, I can't be the one that thought that was the worst performance since Catwoman she's done. Let's be honest, this is the worst thing she's done since Catwoman, her Storm. And the entire Storm franchise of Storm, wasting Storm. That by Halle Berry. By not having Halle Berry commit to the role and giving a shit. You didn't pay her enough money, Fox. You cheap fucks. I bet you didn't pay her enough money to make her give a fuck. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, and I actually hated how the first X-Men movie took a jab at the comics. Costumes. What the originated, you know how Cyclops basically, after when he suit up in the climax, ready to go fight and save the day and save the day. You know how Cyclops said, "What would you prefer? Yellow jumpsuits?" That's basically them jabbing at the source material saying, "Fuck you, we think the emo X-Men's are better." Yes, I will call these emo X-Men because they dress in black. Leather instead of, well, yellow jumpsuits or yellow spandex. I mean, yeah, yellow jumpsuits, I mean. I'm pretty sure they... Yeah. So... And I love how, and hate at the same time, they changed pretty much everything about the source material so it looks unrecognizable. From Marvel Comics to the big screen translation. Just like M. Night Shyamalan's last Airbender movie. Huh? Ain't that great? Fox is being compared to that. Except, unlike M. Night Shyamalan, Fox can do what Shyamalan wish he can do. He knows how to sabotage your child. They know how to sabotage your childhood memories with your priceless X-Men memories and wants to urinate on them, but knows how to do it to not piss you off. And you'll notice. So you'll still go out and see the movie. And enjoy it. Because you're a sucker like me. Who simply love these movies growing up. Not because they were simply love these films, more because they weren't the worst piece of the shit for the time for comic book movies, but they weren't the best piece of qualities that you could get for quality, your dream quality of movies for comic books. Movies called the X-Men. Also, I didn't like how this, the first X-Men pushes it. I don't like how the first X-Men strips it away from the sci-fi adventure, and now we had to lean into stupid racial politics. And make it about make it about mutants make it about mutants being similar to. Making it similar to everybody being a racist for people who hate mutants in these X-Men movies. Is what it focuses on. And I hate it, the change. That they did that for the first X-Men movie. Making it the worst X-Men movie in my opinion. Just the premise is set up, and it's the worst and most unimaginable and unambitious thing you could do with the X-Men brand. So how the heck did Fox manage to pull this miracle out there and not have this movie bomb? I don't know. Maybe it's just because it wasn't the worst piece of shit in the world at the time. the first X-Men movie. Just like the whole X-Men trilogy is like that. Is my feelings to the whole X-Men trilogy. I like them because they're not the worst pieces of shit of a film. Ever. None of them are. Giving them an 8 out of 10 because they are so struck from their source material counterparts. This franchise as a whole. From the character designs to the stories, the television these characters, it's so unimagined and unenvisioned. And kind of lame at times, a lot. With the action, except for, I will say the action was Mystique fighting Wolverine and kicking his ass. That was a pretty good action. All the action scenes with Mystique are good, I thought, from day one. But my problem is, like, in day one, Wolverine was overly sensitively quiet and a kind of whiny little bastard in the first X-Men movie. And he did more of that than Rogue did, I found. To me, I found him more annoying than Rogue. Being whiny as shit. And I'm sorry, I don't like my heroes whiny and quiet at the same time. There's too much blandness. Too much lack of emotion. Stop it. Luckily, they fixed that about Wolverine in the sequel X-Men 2 United and made him more like the Wolverine we like from the comics. Well, personality-wise, he's acting more like Wolverine from here on out when it comes from X-Men 2 to X. If I'm here on it, it was the X-Men movies, except for X-Men Origins. Wolverine, you know? That the first Wolverine was called X-Men Origins Wolverine. With the exception of that, from here on out, he acts like in line with Wolverine. From you used to the one I still think he could use a costume though. Instead of him just. I still think he could use a Wolverine classic costume. I think they could have done it a version of the classic costume design if they made it all black. I'm serious, even the mask. For this world, I'm sure they could do it if they made it all if they just changed the version of the classic costume, but they made it all black. Like kind of like his stealth costume that he wears on stealth missions in that cartoon Wolverine in the X-Men show. But that's what I always think about that. But I just think they should have had. Look, I just think they should have given him a Wolverine mask. They should have given him a Wolverine mask to go with to go with his new costume in this movie. Technically, these were the same costumes, but his costumes are costumes of how bland it might be. They're generic and forgettable. But I think if he actually did wear a mask in the X-Men trilogy, like something similar he wore in the comics, but make it all black, I think he would probably stand out a bit more. The character Wolverine. You know, personality-wise, he would stand out more. And now I'm going to talk about what I also didn't like about the X-Men movie franchise. Is I never liked how Nightcrawler never returned for X-Men 3, but was replaced by Beast. I really wish we could have just got two blue X-Men characters on the big screen together, Beast and Nightcrawler. I don't know why they couldn't recast Nightcrawler. Yeah, if they couldn't get the actor for his schedule for some reason, I don't know. Or why because couldn't they recast Nightcrawler, I don't know. Because Nightcrawler was the best part, was one of the better parts about X-Men 2. United, you know? I was one of the better characters that got translated to the big screen faithfully with the so many critical changes that they did around the X-Men world and restricted from the sci-fi source material. So much. And created something else in a completely different new hybrid for a new generation of X-Men. The problem is, I think the 90s cartoon of X-Men is better generation of X-Men than the one from the Fox X-Men universe. Yeah, so the problem is, my big problem is, I think X-Men the animated series is better adaptation than the Fox universe. All of them. And that's why I'll never get a Fox X-Men movie I think I'm going to be fully thrilled with. Not that that matters anymore, because Marvel is going to make the next X-Men movie. I know they're just going to fuck it up. Like Fox did. Or worse. Or worse. With more mistakes. It'll be even less faithful than the Fox franchise, if it could be. Or if I got, you know, so I'm a little worried about that. How bad is the next X-Men movie going to be when Marvel releases it? That's why I give the X-Men Trilogy a 8 out of 10. Subscribe and click the bell after clicking the subscribe button to get subscribed, and hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Goodbye.